Koka. It was once the source of clean and fresh water for the thousands who live around it. But today, it's highly polluted and carpeted in toxic algae.
Mafida, Kadiri, Tairi, Sultani, Qasimi, Nashan, Khalid.
These are the names of the 6 children Amina has lost.
We walk hand in hand someday.
But not everyone is happy. 400 people have signed a petition saying they received no compensation after being evicted from land their families have farmed and where their animals grazed for generations. They spoke on condition they would remain anonymous.
We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace.
Sophia Hussein and her family are among the 8 million Ethiopians, that's 10% of the population, who are in desperate need of food aid. Hussein's husband is sick and she bears the burden of feeding her family. She has a small plot of land, but this season it failed to produce any food. The youngest child is malnourished. Ethiopia relies on this agricultural region to grow its food, but not this year. The local population of Shashamene has turned to aid groups for survival. Médecins Sans Frontières is providing food and medical treatment for the malnourished. Children are weighed, measured and checked for tuberculosis before being examined by doctors. More than 16,000 have been treated here. Sophia Hussein's kids are among the more fortunate. They're malnourished, but not critical. She gets a ration of food and is sent home. The situation here has alarmed the United Nations. John Holmes, the Under-Secretary for Humanitarian Affairs, flew in to assess the extent of the crisis in the south of the country.
I think on the global scale, this is probably one of the most urgent situations we have.
For the first time in a generation, famine has come to the capital. It's the early hours of the morning in Addis Ababa, and a queue has been growing through the night. Word has spread that wheat is being sold here at government-subsidised prices.
Are you struggling to feed them?
Well, government security agents have just told us that we're not allowed to film here, that we should move on. Clearly, there's a lot of sensitivity about seeing images like this of people in need in the middle of the capital, so desperate.
But it's not just the media that the government tries to intimidate. Aid groups are also harassed. Some have been banished from the country.
So he wants to see the permit?
No aid organisations would talk about the intimidation for fear of reprisals from the government.
Party members, cadres in the countryside who were beating people, for example, taking out the whole village, maybe about 5,000 people, and have them sit down in the sun for 5 days, in the cold for 5 days, accusing them of hiding the OLF people, an incident where a cadre went into a prison and killed somebody, accusing him of being...
Most were sentenced to jail terms of 10 to 13 years without parole. But alleged group leader Mesfin Abebe was sentenced to death. Another defendant, Tesfahun Chemeda, was given a life term.
They just sentence you to whatever they want.
Wash me clean. Majesty, be merciful with me, for my eyes have seen holy.
More than 25,000 people were sitting in prison for 5-6 years, and this was violation of human rights. Amnesty to about 1,000 people.
The young people taught us all a lesson. We are not afraid. We are not afraid.
Violation going on in Ethiopia as we speak.
Malaz Zenawi is involved in mass killings of Oromo students.
There's a lot of political leaders that are being imprisoned, even people that are claimed to be Oromos that have nothing to do with political involvement.
Kenya,